So, today's talk will be given by His Grace, Gokula Candra Prabhu. Gokula Candra Prabhu ki! And he will be talking about Lord Ramchandra.
Thank you very much, Radha Manishwar Prabhu. So, before I attempt to speak on Lord Ramachandra, we will sing the Jai Radha Madhava song. So, I'm not a musician. I see very good musicians around, so please pardon me. I can't sing and I can't play instruments, but I will try anyway. So, yeah, beautiful song. Most of you know the format. I will sing the song line by line, and then if you can just repeat after me, that would be great. It's going to be about 5 minutes. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Natira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ramjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ramjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande. So before I start the class on Lord Ramachandra, I just want to say that typically the class is given by more senior people, so that wasn't the case today. So I was thinking that perhaps my senior godbrother Murli Manohar Prabhu could give this class, and he was not available, so I was asked to do this service. So I can't replace them by any means, but hopefully I can still say something which is in the glorification of Lord Ram. So yeah, happy Ram Navami, everyone. So today we are celebrating who? Right, Lord Ram. So I will try to say a few words in his glorification, but before I do so, I am just gonna recite some prayers so that we can invoke some auspiciousness, basically some prayers to our teachers. So if you can, if you know these prayers, feel free to say along, and if you don't, feel free to just listen to the sound vibration, and that's also wonderful. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sachivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sutatevi Pranamami Hare Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you for coming to ISKCON London today, and yeah, hopefully you had a nice Abhishek ceremony going on before the class, and we will have more things to go on today. So Gaurarati, and I think also drama and more kirtans today. But today is Ram, Navami. So we are glorifying Lord Ram. So this is a very, very auspicious day because Lord Ram is actually one of the 10 avatars, what we call by technical terms Dasha avatars. So Lord Ram is actually one of them. So Lord Ram is very closely connected to Krishna in that sense, his avatar basically. And yeah, Lord Ram has many, many good qualities. So in preparation for this class, does anyone know, some of you may know that Rama's story is explained in the Ramayana. Typically we read the Ramayana written by Valmiki, but also there is another like Ramayana retold book that we read in ISKCON. It's a shorter version. But also actually the Ramayana is also available, the short story, in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So does any of you know which canto or which part of the Srimad Bhagavatam? Yes, the ninth canto. Chapter number? It's a difficult question. Even I wouldn't know if I don't prepare, but it's the 10th and 11th. So throughout 2 chapters, Shukadev Goswami, who is basically the speaker of the Srimad Bhagavatam, is speaking about this Ramayana in a summary. So in the Ramayana has already been written, so he doesn't have to reiterate the whole story, but still to signify the importance of this pastime of Lord Ramachandra, he summarized it in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's what I used for today's preparation. And why Srimad Bhagavatam particularly? Because the Srimad Bhagavatam is actually the cream of all Vedic scriptures. So it's the essence. So even the author himself, Vyasadeva, he was not content when he wrote all the Vedas because something was missing, and that something was the direct glorification of the Lord, of Krishna. So yeah, and then even the author became happy when he wrote the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is basically the conclusion of the whole Vedas. So he was inspired by his spiritual master, Narada Muni, and he became happy when this was written. So I see some of you may be from India, so you might know the story of the Ramayana more than me, so please forgive me if I say anything incorrect, or please feel free to just correct me. Correction is mercy anyway. So yeah, but Lord Ramachandra. So I was reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, these 2 chapters, and so in this episode of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the 9th canto, we basically get to know more about Lord Ram. So does any of you know in which dynasty Lord Ram comes? Which one? Sorry. Ikshvaku, yes. So the sun god's dynasty, which is, I was thinking about this, like oftentimes we call Rama as Lord Ramachandra. So Chandra means moon. So like my initiated name is Gokula Candra Dasa, so the servant of the moon of Gokul. So here is actually coming in the dynasty of the sun, not the moon. So the next chapters we'll talk about in the Bhagavatam about the moon dynasty. But we still call Lord Ram as Lord Ramachandra, and we also call Krishna as Krishna Chandra, or even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Gaura Chandra, because does anyone know why we give them this suffix Chandra? So basically, the moon-like face. So normally if you see the moon, it's like beautiful, like when we see like full moon, wow, that's full moon on the sky. So the moon-like face is also very beautiful. And this is also true for Krishna, Lord Ram, they're very beautiful. So yeah, Lord Ramachandra is coming in the dynasty of King Ikshvaku, and specifically he's the son of, anyone knows? Dasharath Maharaj, correct. So he's the son of Dasharath Maharaj, and well, actually, yeah, he's the son of Dasharath Maharaj, and then it's actually also the Raghu dynasty. So the grandfather is Raghu. So that's why you see sometimes, as we refer to it as Raghava, because it's the Raghu dynasty basically. And yeah, so yeah, he was born in that family, and actually he had 3 brothers. Does anyone of you know who the 3 brothers were? I'm sure you know at least one. Lakshman? Yes? Yes. So they were like 4 siblings, and I read it somewhere in the Vedic scriptures that they are also considered as the Chaturvyuha, like the reappearance of the Chaturvyuha, like Vasudeva, Nirudra, Sankarshan, etc., etc. So yeah, these are very glorious personalities, and especially Lakshman and Rama were very, very close brothers. So what happened basically is when Lord Ram was a small child, actually, so they also had a guru, right? So just like Krishna also had a spiritual master, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also accepted a spiritual master, even though they were like God, just for showing a good example for us. So they also had a spiritual master called Vishwamitra. So one day Vishwamitra asked Dasharath Maharaj to please send your sons, so specifically Ram and Lakshman, to the forest where I'm performing some sacrifice, because there are 2 demons who are like trying to distract this sacrifice. And so Dasharath Maharaj was obviously not very keen on this. I mean, he said yes, because the spiritual master requested, but at the same time, he was not very keen on the idea, because he had a lot of affection for Lord Ram and Lakshman. So, and also he was like a tender boy, so he was like, an affectionate father, I guess, and to love his son. But somehow or other, he agreed. And so, Rama and Lakshman went to the forest, and this was actually the first time when Ram killed a demon. Oh, by the way, killing demons and Lord appearances. So we know from the Bhagavad Gita that Krishna appears from time to time. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma samstarpanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So Lord Krishna appears from time to time for 2 main reasons. I'm sure some of you know, maybe most of you. What are those 2 reasons? Don't be shy.
It's to protect the devotees.
Yes.
And to annihilate the demons.
Yes, that's correct. Protect the devotees and annihilate the demons. Thank you very much. So Lord also appeared with that purpose as well. Actually, it wasn't the only purpose of his appearance, but that was 1 or 2. Because Lord Ram also came to teach like Dharma, religiosity to us. But yeah, anyway, back to the story. So he was killing the first demon in the forest to protect Vishwamitra's sacrifice. And by the way, has any of you read the Valmiki Ramayana? Ramayana. So it's actually 6 parts, or not cantos, but like 6 parts. So it starts with the Bala Kanda. So it's like 6 kandas, 6 different parts of Lord Ram's life. And the Bala Kanda is the initial one, when Lord Ram is a small boy, and yeah. So this story is also explained in the Bala Kanda. So yeah, Lord Ram was killing the first demon, was about to kill the first demon anyway, but she was a woman, a demoness. So Lord Ram was thinking, I can't kill a woman, you know. Killing is a very, very great aggression, you know. It's not just like slap or something. It's actually killing, taking away the whole body. And but so Lord Ram was hesitant to do so because yeah, she was a demon. But then his spiritual master said that no, she's a demoness, creating like havoc. Creating so much disturbance for the sacrifice, you have to kill it. To Lord Ram, first it didn't make sense. But this again shows a great quality about Lord Ram, and a great lesson from a Ramayana, that sometimes something may not make sense to us, immediately at least, but we might still do it and inquire, because the spiritual master said so. So that's such a great quality. Not arguing with his spiritual master at all, even though he was feeling uncomfortable. I'm sure some of you may appreciate that some of you may have been in a situation when the spiritual master said something heavy for you, and how can I do that? I remember when I was first talking with my spiritual master here, when he was giving a class, he told me to move into the ashram. I'm still yet to fulfill that completely as he wanted. But yeah, it can be heavy. But Lord Ram was feeling uncomfortable, but he was still doing it. So this is the verse from the Bhagavad Gita. It's very famous when it comes to the dealings with the spiritual master. Tan vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam yanina tatvadarshinaha. So we inquire submissively from the spiritual master. We approach the spiritual master first. We inquire submissively from the spiritual master, and then we also render loving service to the spiritual master. He's basically the connection for us, like to Krishna. So, and yeah, Jnanina Tattvadarshinaha. So the spiritual master has actually seen the truth. So as I was taught in my Vedic studies, the spiritual master knows the way. So first you have to know what you are doing, then shows the way. And also the spiritual master walks the way. So knows the way, shows the way, and walks the way. So he's also doing the same thing that he's preaching, not doing something different. So that's a bona fide guru. Right, so Lord Ram in this way killed the first demon, and this shows already a very good example from Lord Rama's character, that he was very submissive to his spiritual master, as I mentioned before. And then the 2 demons, actually this was on the way, and 2 demons later was also killed, named Subahu, I think, and Subahu was killed, and Maricha was sent away, or like he ran away. So Maricha was escaping, so he was not killed. But in this way, Vishwamitra's sacrifice was nicely preserved by Lord Ram, by a small child, by the way. Yeah, and so then Lord Ram was taken to Janak Maharaj's place, where there was Sita Devi as well. So, and then there was also what's called Shiva Danu, so like a bow from Shiva, and Lord Rama had to lift it, but it's Lord Shiva's bow, so it's quite, heavy, and not many can really lift that. It's after all Lord Shiva's bow, not just an archer's bow. So what happened is Lord Lord Rama just tried to lift it, and it broke into pieces. So it couldn't even bear Lord Rama's tender, like, touches or finger, skin on his finger. So in this way, Lord Rama demonstrated real strength. And so this is also the way he proved his prowess and strength to Sita Devi. So they got married. And that was a very opulent marriage for Lord Ramachandra and Sita Devi. And they were coming, I'm just conscious of time, so obviously I have such a limited time to speak about Lord Ram, so please forgive me for skipping some very, very glorious details as well. I have to, I have no other choice. But, so basically when they were coming back, Sita Devi and Lord Ram, there was a big storm. Like, sand all over the air, very, very big storm, actually hurricane, not tsunami, but hurricane in those days. And so does any of you know why this big storm was happening? Yes, Parashuram was close. Just a few yojanas away, and he was approaching very quickly as well. Again, he's a very special personality, Parashuram. So, yeah, they didn't know what to do. So Vishwamitra Muni was there, Vashishta Muni was there, Lord Ram was there, Lakshman was there, and Parashuram was approaching. And actually Parashuram arrived there. And then no one knew what they should do. And, Vashishta Muni and Vishwamitra, they pretty much always disagreed. So when Vashishta Muni would say something, Vishwamitra would say another thing, and vice versa. So, but on this occasion, for the first time they agreed that they should bow down, because Parashuram is a very special. Again, he is also actually a Shakti-Avesh avatar of Krishna. And so, yeah, everyone bowed down, including Vishwamitra and Vashishta Muni. But two people in the assembly didn't bow down. They were Ram and Lakshman. So they did not bow down. So Parashuram was inquiring, who is Ram? Who is Ram? Where is this Ram? And Lord Ram is very clever and very smart, so he said to Parashuram, you are Ram, you are Ram. Parashuram said, okay, that is true, but who is Ram? From the Ikshvaku dynasty, from the Raghu dynasty, who lifted the bow of Lord Shiva and broke it into pieces. And Lord Ram responded that Ram is me. But he also added, I actually didn't want to break the... I didn't have the intention to break the bow, but when I just tried to lift it, because I had to lift it for winning Sita Devi's hand. It broke into pieces because it was a very old bow, and yeah, that's the only reason. So then Parashuram got furious. Yeah, you think you can just break Lord Shiva's bow? You think you are that strong? And if you are that strong, I will invoke Vishnu's bow, Vishnu's Chapa or Vishnu's Danu. I will invoke that, which is even heavier. Let's see if you can also break that or even lift that. So something even more powerful. We may know from nectar devotion or other scriptures that Vishnu has even more qualities than Shiva. So anyway, as Parashuram was meditating to invoke Vishnu's bow, it wasn't happening this time. So normally it would happen, it's just meditation and it would appear in his hands. But it wasn't happening this time. So what was going on? He opened his eyes, he was very disturbed and he didn't understand. Then again, he closed his eyes, he meditated, the bull wouldn't come at all again. What's going on? This is so unexpected. He did it for the third time. He opened his eyes, what's going on? He closed his eyes, he was meditating, still it wasn't happening. And when he opened his eyes, what he saw is Lord Ram was already holding easily the Vishnu Chapa, the bow in his hand. So then Parashuram got an idea that, okay, this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, an avatar. Because, yeah, a normal, ordinary man cannot really do that. So he's really extraordinary. So again, just a glorification of Lord Ram to show his strength, that he's not an ordinary person at all. And he didn't do this in a challenging spirit in any way. He was asked by Parashuram, and in that sense Parashuram was senior to him, so he was following Parashuram's challenge or instruction to try to lift the bow, and he did so. Right, so then Parashuram said, okay, I killed demons, I've done my job on this earthly planet, Bhumandala, and now it's my time to disappear, and you take over. So there was a shift of some kind in this job. So we know that Parashuram actually killed 21 demons, and so yeah, it was his time to go, and he has gone basically. And it's very important, by the way, to know about the pastimes of the Lord and his avatars and his appearances, because, you know, I mean, Lord Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita this, that if you know the appearance and my activities, upon leaving the body you won't take birth again in this material world, right? Janma karma, chame divyam, evam yoveti tatvataha. Shakta deha punar janma, neti ma neti soarjuna. So Krishna says that himself. So it's very, very important that we hear about these activities and pastimes of the Lord and his avatars. Right, so then Sita Devi and Lord Ram were married. So everything good and beautiful, you would think. But we know that Lord Ram was exiled for 14 years actually. So how did that happen? And what were the circumstances, and what can we learn from that, and what was Lord Ram's glory? So basically when they came back, Dasharat Maharaj was, when they came back, the whole Ayodhya, so this was happening by the way in Ayodhya, I haven't said that yet, everyone was cheering and jubilating when Lord Ram and Lakshman came back, and they wanted Lord Ram to be the king, and Dasharat Maharaj, his father, was very keen on that as well. No better candidate for sure. But what happened is Kaikeyi. So Dasharat Maharaj actually had four sons. We discussed that already. But he also had 3 wives. Does any of you know the 3 wives? Yes, Kaikeyi, Sumitra, and Kosha. Correct. Thank you. So this was Kaikeyi, one of them. So what happened? I can't actually remember now the name. Kali Yoga memory. I can't really remember the name now. Was it Mandara? Or no? Mantara. So she was saying to Kaikeyi, she reminded Kaikeyi, when Lord Ram was about to be coronated, she reminded Kaikeyi that your husband, Dasharat Maharaj, previously promised that he will fulfill 2 boons for you. and you can take it anytime because you didn't take it previously. So go there and ask Dasharath Maharaj to actually coronate Bharat, who was sibling, like son of Kaikeyi and the brother of Lord Ram and Lakshman. So, and that's what. If you can just come a bit closer, then more people can come in. So, time is very short, and okay, not sure how I'm going to do this all, but we go as far as we can. Anyway, so Kaikeyi spoke to Dasharath Maharaj to coronate Bharat, because Bharat was his son. He thought, Bharat was actually at that time not in Ayodhya, but he thought that his son would want that and he would be really happy about it. So, and then Dasharath Maharaj really didn't want to do this, but again, to show Dharma, to show that he is a great king, a great Rajarshi, he was fulfilling his promise. And so Bharat Maharaj was coronated instead of Lord Ram. So the story didn't end happily here, unfortunately. And the irony of this is that really Bharat Maharaj wasn't even around. And in fact, the bigger irony is that Bharat actually didn't want this at all. So he also wanted Lord Ram to be coronated. But one lesson here again from this Ramayana episode is that, and this was happening in Valmiki's Ayodhya Kanda, so it's the second Kanda out of the 6, and one lesson, I was meditating on this, and one lesson is that when, Kaikeyi was actually a great person, he wanted Lord Ram to be the king, but he was influenced when she heard Prajalpa, or like mundane talk. So we should be very, very conscious about what we are hearing. We can't underestimate this, because if we are listening to something which is not in glorification of Krishna and not according to Krishna's plan, then we don't even realize, and we can be swayed at any time. So we really have to be careful, and I'm preaching to myself as well when I watch sport or something. No, it can be, we may not realize, but we may be swayed easily. That's what happened to Kaikeyi anyway. So yeah, right, okay. So then Lord Ram was not only not coronated, but he was sent in exile for 14 years. And again, this shows Lord Ram's great character, that he didn't really, he's God's avatar, so he could have made a different arrangement or counter this, but he didn't do that at all. He accepted this curse and he said, sure, my father, again, the father is a senior, so he accepted that. And so he went to Vanavas. And Lakshman and Sita Devi, they accompanied Lord Ram. It's again a big lesson. Like Sita Devi was thinking that wherever my husband is, I must be there. She could have just stayed in the kingdom. So obviously the Ayodhya Vasis, so the people, the residents of Ayodhya, they were very morose and very sad. They didn't really welcome this and receive this news very, very, very well at all. But anyway, they went for the exile, and on the way they had troubles. There was one demon who had one eye. Again, I forget the name. Was it? It wasn't Tataka. I forgot the name. But anyway, there was a demon who attacked them, and then they had to kill. And during this period, there were more demons. So Lord Rama had to exhibit more duty. And yeah, there was a lady who came to Lord Ram to propose marriage. I wish I could remember her name, but it's Shurpanaka, yeah. So she was trying to convince Lord Ram to marry her, but she was very selfish actually. So she didn't do this for for a beautiful Vedic marriage out of selfless love. She was very selfish, so that Lord Ram would please her, give her sense gratification, basically. So Lord Rama said, no, Eka Patna and Eka Patni. Yeah, so basically I have one wife and I'm committed to that wife, you know, that is Sita Devi. So then he said, maybe approach Lakshman. You have another chance. And then Lakshman said, I'm really sorry, but actually I'm the servant of Lord Ram. So if you marry me, naturally you become a maidservant. Do you want that? Are you prepared to become a maidservant? Obviously she wasn't. She was after sense gratification. So in this way, she was rejected, and I think Lakshman cut her nose, and so she went back to Ravana, and she complained. But again, she had a very selfish desire, and she was speaking to Ravana, because she said, oh, Sita Devi is so beautiful, she should be the queen of the Rakshasas, not Lord Ram. And then, so again, her selfish desire to get Lord Ram after that, if Ravana takes Sita Devi. So then, anyway, she convinced Ravana. And what happened is Lord Ravana went to speak with Maricha. I just mentioned Maricha a few minutes ago. So he was chased away when he was trying to disturb Vishwamitra Muni's sacrifice with Subahu. Subahu was killed, Maricha was chased away, but Ravana spoke to Maricha to go back and kidnap, abduct Sita Devi. Now, Maricha was not keen on the idea, because he already got a glimpse of, of the boy Ravana, how powerful Lord Rama is. And so he was not keen, but anyway, Ravana is the Rakshasa king. So even in the Rakshasa family, there is a little bit of dharma, following the superiors. So he went back, and then Maricha took the form of a golden deer. And Ravana took the form of a mendicant, a beggar, a Brahmana sannyasi, basically. And the deer is coming up again in the 9th canto, right? Actually, any of you know when the deer came up earlier? Yeah, that's in this episode. And in which episode previously was a deer? Oh, okay. I learned something new. Thank you. So another thing I was thinking, but thank you very much. That's also actually, yes, a deer. Yeah. And a very, very famous story from the 5th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Which one? King Bharat. Bharat Maharaj. Yes. A deer was also the cause of the failure there, temporary failure. Bharat Maharaj story, yeah. Yeah, these days. They always strict devotees. Anyway, so Maricha took the form of a golden deer, and that was very attractive for Lord Sita Devi. And so she ordered Lord Rama, I want that deer. Can you please fetch the deer for me, please? And, Rama is the avatar of the personality of Godhead, so he knew what was going on, but again, out of obedience, serving his wife, his loyal and chaste wife, he agreed. But he asked Lakshman basically Lakshman's role was to stay around and protect Sita if something is happening. Anyway, Lord Ram was chasing the deer. He didn't have to chase for long. So he caught the deer, and actually with his bow, an arrow, he shot an arrow at the deer that was piercing the deer. So the deer was about to die, to give up his body, but before doing so, he was making a tumultuous sound and actually not just a tumultuous sound, it was he made the sound of Rama so that Sita Devi could hear it, and she would think that she was made to think that Lord Rama is in trouble. These demons are also clever. So then Sita Devi immediately ordered Lakshman, who was still there, go and help Rama. He's in great trouble. Lakshman again, he was also clever, and he said, actually, Lord Ram doesn't need protection, and I should stay here to protect you. But Sita Devi misunderstood Lakshman. She thought that Lakshman is trying to possess her, and that's obviously not very cultured if she has a husband and so on, if the brother is trying to possess her. So anyway, Lakshman was disappointed by being misunderstood, but then he went on Sita Devi's instruction, and then Ravana came in the disguise of a Brahmana sannyasi, and Sita Devi was about to donate some food, give some donation, and Ravana revealed his evil 10-headed, 20-handed form and abducted Sita. So again, I had to skip some stories here, but this also demonstrates that sometimes even great personalities misunderstand each other. Unfortunately, some misunderstanding is very, very common, especially in this age of quarrel and hypocrisy. And then Lord Ram and Lakshman came back and they couldn't find Sita. So obviously, Lord Ram was very, very much agitated by not finding Sita, separation from her beloved wife, her chaste and really loyal wife. He was in pain. It's what we call by technical term vipralamba seva, so the mood of separation. If you have a beloved person, you see the person every day, it's sweet, but perhaps if you don't see that person for a week, you will really miss that person. And then the taste, the mallows becomes really even sweeter when you see that person. So this was also what Ram was feeling. And again, this gives the two messages about Lord Ram's reaction, because he was lamenting. So one is that one should, for a chaste and loyal wife, one should really feel the separation and pain and try to do everything to get the wife back. But also, on the other hand, this teaches a lesson that if we are too attached to our wife or even to our husband, we may lament too much. So a two-sided lesson there that Lord Ram taught to us. Right, so there was some, also I didn't say that, but then when Ravana was, and I probably will finish here, unfortunately, to have some few minutes for questions, but then when Ravana was trying to escape with Sita Devi, a vulture called Jatayu, who was actually a devotee of Lord Ram. Obviously later in the story you know that Lord Ram had monkey disciples, obviously human disciples, also vultures, so he was a very, very respected personality. Even vultures, right. Okay, so anyway, Jatayu, his name was Jatayu the vulture. He tried, he could have assessed his abilities, whether he can really win over Ravana, because if he's reasonable, then he says, no, I can't, but his emotions were driving him. So sometimes emotions override logic. So Jatayu anyway tried to save Sita Devi when Ravana was escaping, and Ravana cut his wings, Jatayu's wings. And so when Jatayu was about to die, Lord Ram, because they met Jatayu while trying to find Sita Devi. They were very saddened. So Lord Ram actually treated Jatayu as his father. So he performed the final funeral rites of Jatayu. Yeah, so I will probably end here. Just one last thing I want to say. There is a beautiful verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam. I won't read it up now because you wouldn't have time, but you can research more, and also about the other stories in the Valmiki Ramayana. But there is one verse in the 11th canto, 5th chapter, can't remember which verse now, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which speaks about one verse which brings connection amongst Lord Ram, Krishna, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that one verse in the 11th canto is also very important, also shows the connections very well between Krishna and even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I wanted to read it up. I don't think I have time, otherwise I don't leave time for questions and comments. So I will stop here, and I'd like to open it up for any questions and comments, or as I mentioned in the beginning, corrections if I didn't say something correctly. So yeah, please don't be shy. Any questions about Lord Ram, his qualities, character, anything you learn from his story? Basically any glorification of Lord Ram. His smile. Okay. Yeah. Smile is the biggest reward we can get from Krishna and his avatars, or even his representatives like the spiritual master. I'm sure someone has some question. Don't be shy. Do we have a microphone so that do we have a mic? Just for the online viewers, because they won't hear. Otherwise, I can repeat the question. Yeah, you can start, and maybe I will repeat.
Rama, he was on Earth for quite some time. Anyone you actually treated, who actually killed, were they immediately liberated the heavenly planets?
Very good question. So the question was, if I understand correctly, when Lord Rama killed these demons, anyone, were they immediately liberated? Okay, that's a big question. I guess first we need to see what the word liberation means. I'm pretty sure they got some benefit. So the answer, I will be very quick. I don't know for sure, but if I think about it, then some liberation for sure. Maybe not to Vaikuntha always. Yeah, I'm not sure whether they are always, they always end up in Vaikuntha or Goloka Vrindavan. I'm not sure about that, but it is my understanding, my little realization is that even when Krishna kills demons, they are getting a lot of benefit from them. So even like when Krishna was dancing on the head of Kaliya, that's a big blessing for Kaliya, touching Krishna's lotus feet. So I would think there is, but yeah, someone more senior would need to answer that. Ravana definitely, and Kumbhakarna.
Was the question, everyone who was killed by Lord Ramchandra while he was on earth, did they get liberation? Was that the question?
Yeah.
Yeah, if my memory serves me correctly, then yes. That's how I remember it from Ramanuja Prabhu when he was giving seminars here.
Oh, okay.
I was asking him about it.
So yeah, you can ask Radhaneshwar Prabhu as well. Any other questions? How much time do we have? Okay, 4 minutes. Yeah.
Part of his plan, the Lord plan, when he chose his devotees to do all his pastime. So if they get liberation, yeah, but it's part of his plan.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Even like Kumbhakarna and Ravana, they were like Jai and Vijay from the spiritual world. Any other questions? It's okay if it's difficult. We have from Radharandeshwar Prabhu here as well. Yes?
When Lord Rama and Lord Sita's last day on earth, how was he transported to the heavenly planets? Did he give up his body, or was he escorted by a flying Vimana or something? Flying Vimana.
So I don't know the answer for sure, but I know that when, for example, Prithu Maharaj and other great personalities, other avatars of Krishna ascend to the spiritual world, then we have the Vaikuntha airplanes. So I don't know whether that's also the case for Lord Ramachandra. Radhalandaneshwara Prabhu?
We're just checking with Pandit Harshita.
Oh, okay. Consulting. Thank you. I need help.
Do you remember Harshita?
I think in his book, Shivalas Prabhuji had mentioned that Lord Ram, he went to the Sarayu River.
Oh, okay.
Into the Sarayu River.
Yeah.
It's interesting to know.
Thanks to Harshita. So, one last question. We have 2 minutes before the arati starts. Anyone else? I'm sure you have many questions, so don't be shy.
Was there any point in the Ramayana where Rama had to lie?
That's a good and deep question as well. Rama had to lie. Not that I'm aware of. Harshita? She doesn't know, so it's a really difficult question.
Well, first of all, we can't, nothing stands out, we can't remember, and it would really go against his character as he's appearing in this incarnation. For example, after Ravan was killed, and then the details were a little bit hazy. How did it work? Was it that he, because he heard some gossip in the city, and then just based on this gossip only, what is it he said, that Sita must go and live with the sages? Is that, that's right, yeah. So he literally sent his wife away to live with the sages, just because of some gossip that she may have been contaminated by Ravan. Just based on that, he said, okay, so now we have to set the ideal example.
Yes.
So it would seem contrary to his character that he would lie in this incarnation.
And actually
Yes,
thank you. There is actually just one thing I want to say here. Sorry. Lord Rama has 16 good qualities. One of them is truthfulness.
So, you said like Rama Vigrahavan Dharma. Is Dharma about not lying or
not lying?
Lie to way too good.
It's Lord Ram, and I will probably.
If Rama like that doesn't mean that Rama was not truthful. It could have been that it was to follow Dharma. So.
Our apologies, just because the conch has gone, we have to start our We can talk a bit more afterwards if you like, though.
Yeah, Lord Ramachandra ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande.